I'm not wearing my watch. Kirby, do you know what time it is? Big help. What time is it? I think it's time to record, but wait a minute. I know what time it is.
It's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax, you'll laugh till you collapse. We're Animaniacs.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Z-Man Show. I just washed my hair, so please don't mind my Seth Rogen-y look. Today we're talking about Animaniacs. The new reboot just came out on Hulu just a week or two ago. I watched the whole thing, episode 1 to episode 11, I think it was. Just 11 episodes, really short. I was hoping it would be longer. But yeah, I watched it all the way through, and I have a, spoiler-free review for you. There's not really any spoilers. I'm just not going to, give away all the plots or anything. I'm just going to give you a little bit of my perspective on it, being a Animaniacs fan myself. A little bit of background, though. I didn't watch Animaniacs, really, as a kid. I watched it, actually, last year. After hearing, I watch a lot of Nostalgia Critic, and he really likes the Animaniacs. He always talks about them. He's interviewed the creators, interviewed the voice actors, and everything. And that got me, I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch it. I saw it on Hulu, I'll watch it. And I watched it, loved it. And so that got me excited for when I heard the reboot was happening. I was like, hell yeah, let's watch some more. And I watched it, and here's my review of it. Is it better than before, or is it worse than before, or is it completely different than what it was before? Let's talk about it. First off, let's talk about animation. Honestly, it's different, but it's not, I don't want to say it's better, but it's definitely updated. That I think that's the best word to describe it, would be updated graphics, really. You know, the character models, they changed them a little bit. At first, I couldn't tell a difference until somebody showed it side by side. I'll show it up side by side. I'll show you that picture right now. Side by side pictures of the Warners themselves. Looking at them, you know, it's different, but they look almost the same. Like they had commissioned some people to make a bunch of different updated or just different character models for them, and they decided to just go with these more familiar ones. I think that's the obvious good choice. But yeah, compared to a 90s cartoon, these I would say the graphics, you know, gamer. The graphics and the animation and everything is I guess you could say smoother and everything. But honestly, I think if they just slapped a bit of coat of paint on the old stuff, it would have been just the same. Probably would have been just fine. That's all I have to say about the animation. But another big part, probably the biggest part, is the voices. The voices really haven't changed. I don't think, out of the main characters, I don't think they changed anybody's voice actor. Out of all the main characters, I don't think they changed a voice actor at all. Which, technically, that's not a whole lot of characters. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Really, you can just tell a little bit with the octaves of their voices. The voice actors are obviously 20 years older, so their voices have gotten a little bit lower. Honestly, you get used to it really quick because it still sounds pretty much exactly the same. You can just tell a little bit. You can tell a bit of a difference with Tress MacNeille. Her voice, she does the voice for Dot. In scenes, you can tell quite a bit of difference, but in some you can't. It's nothing that sounds weird. You can just be like, oh, you'll just hear it and be like, oh, well, that sounds a little bit different, but that's it. It's nothing big and nothing that really distracts you from the show. Honestly, once you get past that first episode, it's just, that's their voices. Writing. Now, the writing for the show was honestly the bread and butter of the whole show back in the day for the original, and I'd say the same for this one.
The internet is the most powerful information sharing tool ever devised. And do you know what most humans use it for?
I do, but I don't think I can say it.
The writing's still really, really good. Apparently, I just learned this, they did not bring back the original creators, so the writers are different. So having new writers, I would have expected a lot different directions of where they went, but it really felt familiar. It really felt like Animaniacs writing, which is really good. I really liked it. I wouldn't say that it was as good as the original, though. I wouldn't say it was as good as the original writing, but you know, when you're trying to replicate something and make it better, I mean, we all know that sequels usually aren't as good as the movies. Same thing with reboots, but this was nothing like your average reboot. It was still very, very good. Definitely better than any other kids comedy that is airing today, I would say. Technically, this show is made for adults and kids, especially because the original fans are now adults. But you know what I mean. Kids shows today are pretty much ass. The only little critique I have, I would even think of having with the show is their like really ham-fisted approach at the social commentary. Back in the original, you know, they would make fun of topical stuff, but it would be more along the lines of making fun of a bunch of topical stuff. But this one is very, you know, kind of with the times, and you know, kind of what everybody sides with topically, politically, or whatever on TV. So it's like, you know, you kind of expect that going in. I expected it going in. You know, it's like, oh, this is just, you know, some of the comedy. If it's gonna be anything political, it's just gonna be that one side. It's gonna be very one-sided. But and it was, but that's only for when it got political, which it didn't get political that much, honestly. So what I would think, what I would say is that, you know, when they did it, yeah, it was just kind of like, it's not my thing. I don't really care for it. But there wasn't that much, so it's just like, okay, I can appreciate a joke like that. You know, I mean, like, if I might not like it, but somebody else might. Whatever. It's not the whole show. I also, and on that note, I honestly expected there to be a shit ton of Trump jokes, which they're funny. They can be funny, but it's like, good lord, I don't care anymore. God, that's all we get. There were some, but not a whole bunch. There were a couple of them, and they were pretty funny.
You're gonna be my new loofah. You're gonna exfoliate my very beautiful, very naturally tan skin.
Cheddar Jazz! I'm sorry, I splashed you with my mouth. Please, just get me away from this wrinkled circus peanut!
I'd sit there laughing at them, and then they just move on, and then that's it. It's not like the whole show where it's, you know, there's some shows coming out now, or maybe not now, but there were shows coming out that were all about it. That made me kind of nervous about the reboot, just because, you know, the climate of social stuff going on. I thought maybe that was going to be all it was, and it wasn't. Oh, thank you for not being like that. And I guess you could put this into the writing category of what I'm reviewing, but there are a lot of missing characters. It's easier to tell you what characters didn't get cut out than to talk about how many characters did get cut out. Basically, here's the main characters of the show. Yakko, Wacko, Dot, Pinky and the Brain, and that's it. That's all the characters. That's all the main characters. The other characters make cameos. Most of the time they don't even talk. But for the most part, just those main characters, and that's it. I can see why they might do that for Season 1, but I really hope they bring back at least some of the characters for Season 2. Because they definitely have a Season 2 planned, because it's in the intro. And I just think after the first few episodes of like, okay, we're back to Animaniacs, and then it kind of gets back to the original format of the show. You just get a good chunk of Warners, a good chunk of Pinky and the Brain, and then a small chunk of the Warners again. Then it's over. It's like, I like that. I mean, I like the show. It's good, but I'm like, I'm kind of it makes me want to see more of Rita and Runt and the Goodfeathers and stuff like that. It's like, give me some more. Where's the rest of them? You see them in one of the episodes, and you see a couple characters here and there, but nothing. That's it. So here's really hoping that they bring back at least a few of the characters, at least the Goodfeathers. Honestly, I think if they bring back the Goodfeathers into Season 2 and just add them into that little mix of storylines, I think that'd be pretty cool. One really good thing I could say about it is you can tell that this isn't just like a cash grab that they crapped out as soon as they could. They weren't like, oh, hey, look, some of these people still like Animaniacs. Let's pay somebody to poop them out. No, they worked really hard on it, and they made a pretty good product, and really close to the original, honestly, in quality and comedy. So yeah, if you guys have a Hulu subscription, or if you're thinking about getting a Hulu subscription, get it. And watch Animaniacs. If you liked the original, you're probably gonna like the reboot. But I definitely recommend watching the original series beforehand. So yeah, that's it from me. Oh, remember, I stream Monday through Friday right now from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're playing some games, doing a 100% run of Super Mario Galaxy currently. We also play some Black Ops. Just having a good old time playing with viewers on Fridays too. Don't miss that. So, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Z-Man out.